what is up, my dolphins? And it's been very well rumored lately that Fallout 4 is probably going to be announced at E3, and that's really cool. Now, I've explained to you guys that I prefer the Elder Scrolls over Fallout, but I'm still a huge fan of the Fallout, considering that I haven't actually played that much of the Fallout games. I do acknowledge that they're spectacular games and deserve pretty much all the love that they get. So, I figured I'd put down some ways that it could be better. The top 10 things that I want from Fallout 4 personally. So, let go. Number 10, I want a better Pip-Boy. Now, if you don't know what a Pip-Boy is, it's basically your inventory system. It's a little thing that's on your wrist. It basically connects to the player's body, and it's basically your inventory system. You use this to get on your map. You use this to look at if you're crippled or not. You use this to basically get into your inventory and everything. I don't know how you can make it better, but I feel like Bethesda, you got some pretty cool ideas up your sleeve, so amaze me. Now, number 9 is mutations. Now, of course, with the world that's pretty much completely nuked and stuff, I want to grow an arm out of my leg. So basically, in the game, there's a system in the Fallout 3 in New Vegas. There's a system where if you stand out in radiation too long, it'll eventually start doing damage to you, and you'll have to de-irradiate yourself and stuff. But it never really took too much away from you. It didn't really. Now the thing is, this would be a permanent effect on you, and I feel like it'd be one of those things, almost kind of like Fire Emblem, where if someone in your party dies, they're gone for good. So I feel like it'd be pretty cool to have a permanent mess up on you, unless you have that special little autosave before you happen to get way too mutated. Number 8 is something always me personally has wanted. Now, I know a lot of people don't want to play as someone who is extremely ugly and burnt and crap. I want to play as a ghoul. Now, Ryan, what's so cool about the ghouls? They're just irradiated weirdos. So basically, I want to be able to pick to be a ghoul the minute that I start up the game. That should be a part of the character creation. But Ryan, what is so cool about the ghoul? Well, the thing is, a ghoul would open up tons of more dialogue stuff. It will give you disadvantages and advantages in the game, like chat and stuff. 3, other ghouls probably wouldn't attack you, and 4, and it even said in one of the loading screens of Fallout 3, not only are ghouls not harmed by radiation, they're healed by it. So imagine just like you're dying and running, and there's just a pool of irradiated water. Just take a swim in that, and you're all good. Now, the original Fallout games had a version of this with I think their names were the CDR. I'm not too sure. Basically, in Fallout New Vegas, if you committed too much crimes, they'd come up to you like, you better change your ways or we gonna kill you. I want that reformed. I want a new version of that. I want reputation systems. I don't know how you would do it, but Bethesda's never really delved too deep into this. Now, of course, they've always had systems of it, and everything would be a bit more different depending on how you played. So, make it better. Please. Ooh. Number 6, so if you take a look at games like Fallout 3, it's just kind of in America. You're in a nuked up America. Now in Fallout New Vegas, you're in New Vegas. It's pretty cool. But the thing is, I want an even better setting. One of the first rumors or hoaxes for Fallout 4 was that it was going to be set in Boston, and then I think there was one that said it was going to be set in China. Give us a cool setting. I don't even know. I mean, honestly, the setting wouldn't even matter other than there would probably be different characters and different, just kind of like landforms in general. I personally think it'd be pretty cool to have it set in Canada. No, it wouldn't. Maybe Mexico? I don't know. It'd be pretty cool. Amaze me. Don't just have it set in the apocalypse. Have it set in a place in the apocalypse. I ranted about this in my Skyrim or Elder Scrolls versus Fallout series, and it gets on my nerves so bad that Fallout 3 doesn't have ADS. Now, I accept that Fallout 3 is a much superior game to New Vegas, but New Vegas had an advantage in the sense that it had ADS. Now, in a post-apocalyptic game, You're gonna want to immerse yourself more by just having ADS. It just makes the game like 20 times better. Now, ADS isn't necessary in it, but in Fallout 3, the shooting system was so weird. Like, if someone wasn't right in front of your face, then you basically had to do this weird zoom, almost Counter Strike like, where basically you just imagine your head like growing 10 feet and going. Now, of course, but Ryan, you can just use this system where you freeze time and then you can shoot certain pieces of their body. Well, should we have to rely on that? Nah. Especially when we run out of action points and we're just going, oh. Just keep ADS. I doubt that you'll get rid of this, but you need to keep it. And number four, I've always kind of been a bit scared from Fallout sometimes. Because I've always had that fear of running into a Deathclaw. Or a super mutant. Or I want insane monsters. Now, obviously, you need to keep Deathclaws. That's a freaking given. You need to keep super mutants. You need to keep freaking rad roaches because they're just fun to kill because they can't kill you. I want insane monsters. I want a freaking giant, ugly thing with an anus growing out of its face. I want crazy stuff. I want insane crap. I want whatever you have, throw at me, bro. I want it. Give me some of those insane monsters. I know that you got a lot going over there. I mean, you literally had a monster in Skyrim that was basically a giant centipede, and it was scary. Amaze me. I also talked about this in my Fallout vs. Elder Scrolls video, that Fallout is supposed to be about surviving, but it doesn't really have survivor-oriented gameplay. Simple, maybe you can have a casual, like, easy, medium, hard. I know that Fallout New Vegas did something like this, but it still didn't feel completely authentic. Add a survivor mode where you have to eat and drink, and sleep, and do all that stuff. It basically makes the game really hard, and you have to keep your guy fed and just hydrated. But I feel like a next gen version of Fallout could do that way better. So, amaze me. And number two, let's talk about the fact that Fallout 3 had an awesome story. I thought it was really compelling that your mom died at birth. Then your dad kind of left after a huge accident and everything, and you had to go find him. It was great. You felt like you had to find your dad, not for you, but for your character, your your silent protagonist character. Now, I want a story even better than that. Maybe the fate of the world can realize. I want a story that makes you want to get your goal done. I can't even think of one because I'm not good at personally thinking of stories. But Bethesda, you've got some minds over there. Now, some of you guys are probably going to tear me apart for making this my number one, but my number one thing I want most, I want graphics that are so good that people walking by me will think I'm watching a movie. Yes, the person that says he doesn't care about graphics is putting graphics at number one. But just stop for a minute. The last major Bethesda game that Bethesda actually made was Skyrim in 2011. It had par graphics. They weren't amazing at the time, but they were pretty good. The NPCs kind of felt a little still static, and imagine a next gen version of that. You have more realistic deal. You have more realistic NPCs. You have just imagine getting. I know, like you can mod like Fallout 3 and stuff, but it'll never look as good as just a next gen Fallout. Like that would be so cool. I want my game to be beautiful. That is my number one thing out of all this. I just want to look up at the skyline and say this is a pretty game. Now, chances are everything else on this list is probably a lot more important than this, but I just want a pretty Bethesda game because they've already offered us games with excellent gameplay and story and everything like that. I want good graphics now. You've always had good graphics for your time, but I want next gen graphics. Anyway, yeah, that's it. Dumb number one. Let's do it.